Hey everyone, I just wanted to make a quick video regarding hyperbaric chambers. A client had asked me, hey, do you know where I can go to use one? What does it do? How long should I be in there for? Like, what are the benefits? So if you have a chronic condition, sometimes some acute conditions qualify as well, carbon monoxide poisoning, mold exposure, scuba divers use hyperbaric chambers. Diabetics or people with like diabetic ulcers will use hyperbaric chambers. But if, as you notice a trend, those are all very like extreme scenarios where someone is probably medically advised to use a hyperbaric chamber. The average consumer, luckily, is not really in a position where they need to be using a hyperbaric chamber. The real question is asking yourself, why do you think you even need to do a hyperbaric chamber? Is there another alternative? It really just depends on like what your goal is. We also can't forget you have to look at the longevity and sustainability of doing hyperbaric chamber. So for example, if you have a diabetic ulcer or you have a serious health condition that requires daily hyperbaric chamber, you're not only paying every day to do that, but some conditions take longer to treat. So, you might have to do 5 sessions in a hyperbaric chamber. Some conditions might require you doing 20, 30, 40 sessions in a hyperbaric chamber, and you need to figure out how are you going to pay for that. Sure, pro athletes do endorse hyperbaric chambers, but there's one thing people are forgetting. It is that professional athletes can afford to purchase a hyperbaric chamber to put into their home. The average consumer, unless you are very wealthy, most likely does not have the funds to buy a hyperbaric chamber. And lastly, I think you have to ask yourself, is this more of a guinea pig trial and error thing? You want to just see how you feel after one session and you're like, hey, I'll front the money to do one session. I can tell you now one session will most likely do nothing for you, but it's cool to kind of test it out and see what you think. You have to ask yourself, is a medical professional advising me to do this? Are they doing pre and post testing? What exactly are you doing it for, so we can track like, hey, did the hyperbaric chamber help this condition my doctor sent me for? It really, really requires medical supervision, or at least very well-trained supervision. The last thing you need is someone cranking the pressure too high, too many atmospheres. It can do harm if done improperly. If your main goal is to improve athletic performance as opposed to a passive modality like a hyperbaric chamber, you want to improve your athletic performance, we should probably start talking about EWAT, which is exercise with oxygen therapy, and I'll cover that in the next video.